Hey guys, it's Aaron the Hoe, and today we are going to do the drop test and water test for the catalyst case. Now I would show it to you in my hand, but I've already started the water test. I've already put the case in this tub of water and it's been soaking for 30 minutes. Real usage, real reviews. Mobilereviews-eh.ca. Now we've posted the first couple of videos already, and Catalyst did actually reach out to us, and they did send us a bunch of instructions to follow in terms of doing the water test. To do this, I had to remove the O-ring, I had to clean the grooves, I had to rinse the O-ring. One of the more interesting things was that they said if you don't feel comfortable with it, you can add a bit of petroleum jelly around the edge of the O-ring. Pretty neat, I've never heard that before. And the last thing is you install it all together and tweeze off all the dirty parts. So we've done all that before doing this. It's been in there for about 30 minutes. I'm going to film everything with a pair of POV pivot head glasses. Looks dry on the inside anyways. There's doesn't look like there's any sort of moisture on the inside. We take a look at, that's the waterproof mesh for the speaker, and there is no water on the inside of that. So I think this case is generally waterproof. I'm going to get the video going on the iPhone so you guys know that it's actually the iPhone that's in it. And we're just going to put it in. So that's the iPhone 5S in the Catalyst waterproof case. Now this case is waterproof up to 16.4 feet, and this tub of water definitely isn't 16.4 feet, but there's a good chance that if it's not going to leak in this little tub, it's not going to leak at 16.4 feet. And the reason for that is, well, the deeper you go into the water, the greater the water pressure. The water pressure is actually going to keep the case together, so there's a smaller chance of leaking. If it's going to leak, it's going to leak in some pretty shallow water. I don't see any water going in. There's no water bubbles coming off of the case, so it looks like the case is doing its job. So all in all, I do think the case is waterproof. There isn't any water that's seeping in to the back of the case, and it's nice that it's transparent. We are going to do one more thing though. If you have an active lifestyle, there's a good chance that you're not going to just gently put your iPhone into some water. There is going to be some splashing involved. So we're going to do kind of a pseudo drop test with this case. We're going to drop it in this puddle of water, kind of to mimic you know, diving into the ocean, into a wave to do some snorkeling or whatever. So that's about 3 feet. Now I just look like I wet myself. Happens if we drop it in this way. So there was an impact at the bottom of that drop. Face first. First thing I'm going to check is the plugs at the bottom. It doesn't look like there's any water on the headphone jack. The lightning port connector seems to be clear water. Now the inside of the case, I don't think there's any sort of water. This probably came from me uninstalling it. It doesn't look like it leaked in. So all in all, I do think this case will keep your phone waterproof. Now, will it keep your phone safe from a drop? We're going to find out. So if this is the first time you're watching one of our videos, I do encourage you to click subscribe. We put out content 2 to 3 times a week, sometimes more. We're all about kind of helping you get the most out of iOS. So if you're going to spend $700 on an iPhone, you better hope that the $60 to $80 case that you're getting for your iPhone is definitely worth it. And that's kind of what we're going to figure out today. So guys, the last thing that we're going to do to this case is the drop test. Now my biggest concern with the drop test is that the back panel is actually going to come off. The teeth on this back panel, they don't seem that large. Now, as you can tell from the impact drop that we had from the water, it did stay together, did keep the water out. So I'm interested to see how well the back of this case fares against concrete. So this case is droppable from 6.6 feet. We're going to drop it from 6 feet, but we're going to start off with a little drop from about waist height. I've got another iPhone case. I got an iPhone 5S down here recording in slow-mo. We've actually got our dog and bone wetsuit case recording. We're doing some testing for that as well. So let's start recording, and we're going to say 3 feet drop. There is a bit of scuffing. Now, on one of the original catalysts that we did have, the Survivor Plus catalyst, it was made out of this really smooth, clear polycarbonate, and it took scuffing pretty badly, and it's better, this case, because there's texture, but still, it's going to show some definite wear and tear. Let's drop it from a little higher. That drop went fairly well. Last one, about 6 feet. I'm 5'8". We'll drop it from this height. And so the thing that I was most concerned about is the case coming apart. So now you can see that the back of the case is there. The iPhone is there. It's still recording, so the iPhone's fine. So I'm not quite sure. At least it didn't fall on the screen. My screen still looks fine. This is actually one of the firsts for us, having a case fall apart like that. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe the case came apart a little bit after one of our drops. So let's. Oh, the O-ring came out. So we've reinstalled the entire case. So we are gonna drop it again. We'll say 6 feet. That one survived. We're gonna try it another corner. All right, so in that drop, the case actually, my ankle really hurts. In that drop, the case actually did come apart. So what do you guys think? Do you think this case passed the drop test? The case did come apart. My phone did go flying. Now that's probably my own dumbassery, and then I guess you guys know to check your case after you drop it. I should know that. But let me know what you guys think. Did the case pass the drop test? It definitely passed the water test in my opinion, but I'm kind of on the edge with the drop test. It did protect my iPhone most of the time, but it did fail once. So leave them in the comment section below. You can also leave the answer on all the other social media things that we're on. I'm Aaron the Hoe, and I'm going to dry off my pants and I'm going to nurse my ankle because they both are wet and hurting. Thanks for watching.